morning, everyone. So I'm just going to do a quick market scan. It's 4th of August, 8:42 in the morning, and I decided today I'm going to work down in the dining room for a bit. Nice day, and I'm using a different camera, so that's why you get to look up my nose and all that. That's awesome, isn't it? So let's quickly run through these. So Wall Street, largely looking bullish, but the problem is we're just still in this overall danger zone, so I'm just going to be a little bit cautious with that. I guess my concern is really that it's overextended on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, not so much on the lower time frames. If you just look at the distance from the 4 hours to the moving averages, looks fine. So there could be potential longs, but again, if I do it, I can either drop my risk, risk less than 1%, and take profit sooner, take profit at 1-to-1, and trade the lower time frames, 30 minutes, 15 minutes preferably, so that the amount of pips or points that I have to go to make some profit is closer, and therefore I'm kind of more prepared to take money off the table. Right, and so you can just see the behavior, the struggle for price action around that 11,000 level, which is over here. In principle, on the daily, it looks about the same, but obviously on closer inspection, it's just over that. So that's the NASDAQ struggling a bit. And you can see it's struggling pretty much with that same level, and there was a potential breakout there. It's kind of come back down below that. So not looking fantastic. Bit of a double top there on Russell. So again, by the time the US comes on board in about 5 hours, we could just see this whole thing break up. So that it's a cautionary tale, I think, overall. I'm looking at FTSE, so the FTSE could ultimately continue its downtrend. It's at the same place. So if we do see the US markets drop today instead of recover and climb, it would line up with the non-US stocks that are actually looking like they want to head lower. Excuse me, case in point, Euro stocks, looking at a resistance level that could ultimately become a move to the downside. Okay, so I'm more inclined to think that with the non-US stocks that could be the case. But then having said that, as I get to the Asian sessions, the Tokyo sessions, they've actually climbed quite a bit, so they're very bullish, which actually implies the US markets will be bullish. So based off that, Japan as well, it's had an up day so far, quite strong move. Based off that, the implication is that actually we're likely to have a strong up day. So if I was thinking of going short, I would now reconsider that and be prepared that I could have a short setup, but that also the market could change almost certainly as the US comes online and start to go bullish. Then looking at dollar basket. So that is looking nice and bearish. It looks like it has now done a bit of a retracement, literally just tapped that zone. And it now looks as though it's pretty much intent on heading lower, which means euro, dollar, GBP, all of these are potentially now have done their retracement on the daily and are looking at climbing higher. Sterling, which will then hasn't actually retraced enough, which is quite funny because that was the one which I think was a bit of a lagger. It now looks like it's staying where it is. Aussie dollar is getting prepared, so there might be some swing trades, which means that if that is the case and they follow through, that means that tomorrow and the next day through to the end of the week, we're going to see them climb, which means we'll see the US dollar drop. So dollar yen is going to probably, in that case, take another move to the downside. Dollar Swissy will do the same thing for sure. Dollar CAD possibly will go through. It's got a similar type of price action setup. So that's kind of just the general direction of which they'll be going in. So that's pretty cool. Euro GBP, not seeing anything. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do now. Now I'm going to run through, carry on going, but just look at the other charts. See if anything grabs my mind. So Euro Kiwi looks good to the upside, looks pretty cool. It is now becoming a little bit overextended on the daily, but it could continue on. Looks fine on every other time frame. It's not overextended, so that's cool. Euro Yen is encountering resistance there at 1.250 or 1.25, so just worth observing that. Euro Swissy is fine at the moment, no problem. Nothing great to trade, but it's not moving to the downside, so that's a good sign. Euro CAD looks as though it's setting up very similar to dollar CAD, potentially as a swing low. Sorry, not Euro CAD. Euro CAD looks similar to, say, Kiwi dollar, which looks like, or Aussie dollar, which looks like they're preparing to do a swing low. Okay, pound Aussie. Overdue for a bit of it. It looks like it might be setting up to come back down a bit. Okay, so that was kind of my trade plan on pound Aussie. Pound Kiwi still wants to keep going, but I fear that it's going to start running into a bit of exhaustion. There's a bit of a level there, so I might be more cautious on that one. GBP Yen looks like that's hitting strong resistance, overextended. Pound Swissy, same kind of scenario. So the GBP pairs are looking like potentially I'd stay away from them today or watch them from the sidelines, but I don't know if they're going to carry on and go much further. Pound CAD looks like that's still doing a bit of a retracement. Aussie Kiwi, bullish. Okay, so that's a potential to the upside. Nothing with Aussie Yen. Aussie Swissy is a mess. Aussie CAD, it's trying to find support. Carry on. It's not great. Kiwi Yen, not great. I mean, it could be pullbacks to test these levels of support as resistance and then have a shorting opportunity. So that's a possible with Kiwi Swissy. Kiwi Yen looks like that's bullish. Looks like that wants to carry on going up, which means CAD Swissy will be wanting to go down. So, okay, this side stay away from CAD Yen and CAD Swissy. Looks like that may have set up as another potential swing low setup today. So both Swissy Yen and CAD Yen are potentially kind of in sync with the moves they're doing. So gold looks as though it's prepping to do a flat level breakout. Okay, so I would, 4 hours looks good for that kind of a setup. All right, so if I do draw this in, what I think is probably going to happen here, is that it'll do not a full breakout, like a false breakout. It'll break out, tap 2000, and then fall back below. And I say probably, because it's just, I think it really wants to finish the race, so to speak. Now we're going to find out, because I've got higher highs here. I'm going to bring on the indicators, and you can see the RSI is heading lower. Sorry, that's the MACD. I beg your pardon. MACD is heading lower and RSI is kind of flat. So that's okay. But certainly MACD is not there. And MACD needs to be going flat or climbing. So that implies not a really strong breakout, but we'll see. Okay. Let's go through, which means silver might be in a similar scenario. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah, it also wants to do a bit of a flat breakout there. Crude oils. Crude oils are desperately trying to stay above these levels of support. Again, not actually offering anything just yet. If they suddenly had to start taking off, there might be something to the upside, but they're not really trending today. Sugar we'll skip because most people don't have that. Coffee looks like that's setting up to go long. Lumber, pretty much the same thing. Let's look at Bitcoin and Ether. They've had a bit of a correction, and they're looking, or retracement, and they're looking to take another run up. So they might start trending today. Ether's already got a very strong monthly resistance at 390, so I'm very cautious about that. Okay, so to recap, there's a couple, and I mean really only 3 or 4 currency pairs that look like they have some potential. Gold might do a breakout to 2000. I mean, if it's going to do it, it's going to try and do it today. There's no doubt about that. It's going to try and do it very soon. But it might only hit 2000 and then fall back. And then look at the indices. Possibly there'll be some bullish moves to the upside, except the problem is that the Tokyo sessions have indicated, they are bullish. So therefore, the US sessions are 60-40 likely to be bullish. I can see that tapping resistance right now, unless what happens is we get one of those rare situations where actually the US tanks today and then the Tokyo sessions tank tomorrow. But you know, I think that's less likely. It's possible, but it's less likely. So there we go. I'm going to wrap that up. So basically today, I'm not seeing a huge number of things, possibly gold climbing to the upside. If that does, then silver will do that as well. Maybe Bitcoin a little bit as well, getting ready to go, and then a couple of those currency pairs that I highlighted. I think though there could be something really nice with the majors, with anything crossing the dollar. So Euro, GBP, Aussie, and Kiwi dollar could be really nice. All right.